So technically, right now, there was a stupid, Mosh here. This is just my show. I'm going to start. It's just my opinions and stuff like that. Nothing special, you know. Funny thing is, right now, there was a food truck parked in front of my car. A great place to conduct business. Like literally, no, it's stupid. At least the people were very helpful to get me out of there, you know. Today is my going to school, actually. Believe it or not. I want to talk about the PS4 controller and how it came to be. Because actually, it's a pretty great controller. I've been playing on it for already, I want to say, about a month and a half already. And to be honest with you, it's the newest controller from the PS4 from PlayStation. Technically, really great on the improvements. I love the fact that they completely improved on the texture of the controller and practically the design. You know, it reminds me a little bit kind of like the Xbox in the sense of the triggers, but not really taking anything to account. It's more like PlayStation doing it in their own fashion on the 360 controller, taking already a great controller from Xbox. Because Xbox has a really good design on their controller already. Practically, the way PlayStation started off was kind of with Super Nintendo, or Nintendo itself. They were going to do something with the Super Nintendo, create a new console together, or some kind of attachment or something. And practically, Sony went their separate ways because they had dispute or some shit like that. And then practically, the Super Nintendo the controller, that design, that shape, that model, was known today as the PlayStation controller, because technically what PlayStation did is take that Super Nintendo controller, was already a great controller, right, and improved on it. They added R1, L1, you know, and an additional trigger buttons to the back with the D-pad, and eventually the second model with the PS1 had analog sticks to it, already attached to it, to already what's a great controller, you know. And then, technically, besides them adding on to it, it's already a great controller. The PS2 controller, when they came out with that one, they redefined it by smoothing out some of the edges, making the bottom part of it more rounder under, and shortening the handles actually, and angling them a little bit more narrow. That was the design of the PS2. It's still a comfortable controller. And then the PS3, all they did was just remove the back part from the PS2, and you know, nothing really changed there. And you know, of course, the first controller had no rumble feature, and then everyone was bitching about how they wanted rumble, and eventually they put back rumble into the controller. But back to the PS4 controller. The PS4 controller is actually a really fucking amazing controller. They lengthened out the old PlayStation. They lengthened out the handles so you can have more grip. Besides having like some kind of matted texture to hold your grip, to have a firm hold on it when you're holding your controller. If you have sweaty hands, no worries, this controller is gonna be in your hands, because my hands get sweaty when I play. I'm one of those gamers that just, you know, I'm playing Call of Duty or some shit, you know, I'm like, oh fuck, where's the next guy? You know, they get you around the corner kind of a thing. Same thing with horror games. It's perfect for horror games, you know. I love a lot of horror games. That's just me. And I'm hoping that the PS4, they come out with a lot of horror games, like Until Dawn, but like more in the sense of Resident Evil. Not like the newer Resident Evils, which I'm going to get up on that topic right there. Technically, the control is a great controller overall. My rating on it would be practice 9 out of 10, because technically the only thing that I feel that I didn't like about the controller was the stupid touchpad censoring thing. I know they're trying to be different with everything and stuff like that. They're trying to step into the future, but come on, they're not Nintendo, you know, with the Wii U and shit like that. And I'm pretty sure just like the on the PS3, that feature they had, which was 6th Sense or some shit like that, where they used Heavenly Sword. I hope they don't incorporate like that touchpad over, like, you know, like with Heavenly Sword, the way they did it in a game like that, because that game fucking was, story-wise, was was pretty good, but when I got to this one part, Heavily Sword, I was like, fuck this. They overused it. Don't overuse something like a feature that you have, like that your console has, even though it's big. And they didn't end up using that feature at all. That was just a big waste, for them. Getting to hopes, ups and downs for Resident Evil 2, the remake. Capcom, everyone knows this, has already announced Resident Evil 2. We don't know when it's coming out. Supposedly sometime next year or the year after that. I don't know. It's gonna come out. It's supposed to happen. I'm excited for it. But here's my fears. I'm gonna go talk about my fears first. One, they might not even do justice to the game. I hope they remake it like the Resident Evil 2 remaster, because that would be so fucking bomb. Take some ideas from there and just improve on it, especially with the new chapters. I hope they avoid the whole Resident Evil Revelations feel, because I don't want Resident Evil. If it came out like Resident Evil 4, I wouldn't have a problem with it. It's just that I'm not really a big fan of RE5, RE6 style, gameplay. Just keep away from that kind of crap, Definitely, it's not something I want to play. It's like, because Resident Evil 5 was just horrible. I'm not gonna lie. That wasn't even a horror game. That was completely action and oriented. And whatchamacallit? RE6 was just different games and did not know what identity you wanted to take. Even though they stated, it's 3 different games, 3 different styles. I just didn't like the fact they were kind of like, okay, here's a social experiment, and we don't know what the fuck to make the game out of, what the game is. We don't know what the fuck it is ourselves. And I'm just kind of like, okay, what are you trying to make? That's just the way I felt about Resident Evil, to be honest with you, 6. They just did not know what the fuck it was. It had no identity. They didn't know what to put, what kind of identity to slap on it, What else? But besides that, everything else about it, I'm hyped. My hopes for RE2 remake. One, definitely better visuals. Visuals are gonna be amazing on that game. Hopefully extended story. More background on Ada, because Ada is still the mystery character. Even though RE6, told a little bit more story on Ada and, her background and all this other stuff, which I'm not going to spoil for you because if you haven't played the game, avoid 6, just go on YouTube and you'll see practically the story of 6, and you'll see how Ada came to be, more or less, Not the, just go on YouTube and watch that shit. Definitely, though, RE6 seems to be, RE2, forgive me, seems to be a really good game. I just hope that the hype for it doesn't kill it. Kind of like Assassin's Creed Unity. That game was fucking overly hyped and wasn't worth $60, to be honest with you. I'm disappointed in it. I'm hoping Assassin's Creed Syndicate's a little bit more, it looks like it's going to be a little bit better. Because, they always come out with like a shitty Assassin's Creed game and then a good one and then a decent one after that and then a shitty one after that. And you're kind of like, where is the series going, I'm still in love with Ezio's story, more or less, and what happened to him. I could really give a shit less about what happened to the Patriots and Assassin's Creed 3, which that game was, I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do there. I know they're just trying to conclude it with Desmond's story. Desmond was a crappy idea. Altair was okay. The first game was okay. It wasn't like that bad, but definitely I did love Assassin's Creed 2. That was a good story. Gameplay was better than 1. They improved definitely there. But the story-wise, I loved Ezio's story. Ezio's story was really good. That's practically it. I just want to say thank you for listening in. It's my first episode of season 1 of the Mosh Pit. Alright. Thank you for tuning in. Just rock hard. Peace out. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. If you like the comment, if you like the show, or if you like what you hear, thumbs up. If you don't like what you hear, thumbs it down. Great. Thank you. You have a nice day.